keep thinking about the paperbark trees in Cajas, how their trunks and branches mirror the complex twists and interconnections of their roots. Our guide said no other trees grow natively above 10,000 feet. What must it be like in these groves at night? No light anywhere, the cold mountain air, only the sounds of the wind or rain on the leaves. Such a contrast to the constant noises in the city in Cuenca, where car alarms trip all night, the refrigerator hums in my room, and roosters wake early. These mountains keep their self-knowledge closed into themselves. Some Andean peoples call these powerful forces of mountain, water, and air apus, or tirkauna, earth beings. Can you imagine what it would be like to know a place like this deeply and well? Our voices echo from the stones and mix with the singing streams, as if we are trying to fill a huge void with our human laughter to set aside feelings of uneasiness at the immensity of space and time in these mountains. We are only passing through. We humans have always just been passing through. The trees, the stones, even the floating layers of more plants, they are the ones who are the dueños, the owners of this place. We are lucky even to get a few minutes here. We stop in a grove to talk. For hundreds of years the trees have grown, little tiny bit by bit, to heights of 40 or 50 feet. I talk about a forest researcher in British Columbia who has discovered trees in old-growth stands communicate with one another through their roots.
Experiences we don't know yet.
So I could tell you something that's going to blow your minds even more about these trees.
Yeah. Tell me.
So there's a forest researcher in British Columbia who studies old-growth forests, and she has found that old-growth trees that have not been disturbed and had their roots moved talk to each other through their roots.
What?
And not only do they talk to each other, they send each other nutrients.
That's so cool.
So through the roots. So they're
I feel like our group has barely begun to communicate with one another in meaningful ways. Imagine how much harder it is for each of us to communicate with the people who live here in Ecuador, who speak a different daily language, who have different assumptions about who they are as humans and who we are as visitors. We are lucky to get to travel. The word privileged comes to mind. The privilege of coming from a wealthy country and experiencing life in a different rhythm and language and place. What are our responsibilities with this privilege? How do we thank the people, honor the trees and the earth beings for their patience with our stumbling efforts to know them? How do we carry that knowing into our lives? How can we contribute to a more connected world? A world where, like old-growth trees, we might share our energies and opportunities not only in our small local places, but across the growing global network that we are all part of.